We've got the Subaru Forester and the Mazda CX-50 in our comparison.
Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And we do these comparisons all the time. It'd be great if you could subscribe. That's very helpful to the channel. So these both have a kind of a rugged, outdoorsy feel. Let's get into it.
The CX-50 has two engine options, a 2.5-liter turbocharged four-cylinder with a 6-speed automatic transmission. With premium fuel, you'll get 256 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque. If you use regular fuel, you'll get a little less power, 227 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. The base engine is a 2.5-liter four-cylinder with 187 horsepower and 186 pound-feet of torque.
The Forester is sold with just one engine. It's a 2.5-liter four-cylinder and a CVT, 182 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque, and of course, standard all-wheel drive.
The CX-50 is based on the same basic platform as the Mazda 3 and CX-30, which extends to the suspension design with McPherson struts up front and a torsion beam at the rear. Mazda contends that this suspension design was used to keep vehicle motion simple and natural feeling. Mazda has added standard MI drive technology. It allows you to customize your drive modes. You can switch between various modes like sport and off-road to best cater to the road conditions ahead. We find the CX-50 to have a firmer suspension and heavier steering than the Forester. iActive Sense safety technology is standard, including blind spot monitoring and rear cross-traffic alert.
The Forester is designed to shine off-road and in more challenging winter driving conditions with their X-Mode driving setting, which includes trail capability and hill descent control. The all-wheel drive system is excellent, giving you confidence in harsher winter conditions. When accelerating quickly on the highway, you feel a lack of power, however, and the cabin gets a little bit louder thanks to that CVT. Now, Subaru removed the turbocharged engine option in the Forester. However, you can get it in the Outback or the larger Ascent. The Forester comes standard with EyeSight driver assist technology with blind spot monitoring and rear cross-traffic alert. The Forester Wilderness model has extra capability with improved gear ratios for off-road performance, a retuned suspension, a front view camera, and improved dual-function X mode.
So these two handle just so differently. The CX-50 has quite a firm suspension. The steering is heavier. You know, you really feel the bumps in the road, so you have to like that kind of drive. Whereas the Forester is smoother. It seems to soak up the bumps, especially that Wilderness model.
I also find that the Forester is a bit quieter in everyday driving situations. We had a chance to drive the CX-50, the regular version, and then the Meridian version with the smaller wheels and large all-terrain tires. And in that setup with those tires, we found the tires a little bit noisier. But you know what? These are both very comfortable. They're competent. We're going to get into the looks in just a second, and they have a different kind of take on how they get you down the road.
And then you've got one with a 6-speed automatic transmission and the other one with the CVT. So I think it really depends on what you like. Of course, an engine match to a CVT when you accelerate quickly on the highway, you hear it.
And the reason why they do the CVT is because of fuel economy. And we will say right now that if you are considering the CX-50, especially with the turbocharged engine, it uses a lot more gasoline.
It likes gas.
Than the Forester. The Forester is designed to be functional and efficient, and that's why they did it.
Mazda is promoting the CX-50 as an outdoor crossover with up to 8.6 inches of ground clearance. It has a wide, bold stance, thick black cladding, a low roofline, LED headlights, and 19-inch wheels, available 20-inch. The rear has a boxy design with dual exhaust tips and a rear roof spoiler. The reinforced roofline is designed to support kayaks, bikes, and even a pop-up tent, which can hold the weight of 3 people. The top trim offers a piano black front grille, 20-inch wheels, and an adaptive LED front lighting system. The Meridian trim has 18-inch wheels and all-terrain tires, headlight protectors, and a unique hood graphic to give it an even more outdoor design.
Like all Subaru utilities except their electric vehicle, they all come with 8.7 inches of ground clearance. And the Wilderness model gets an extra ½ inch to tackle harsher terrain. The Forester was refreshed in 2022 with a redesigned front fascia, grille, headlamps, and fog light covers. It comes standard with LED headlamps and LED tail lamps, 17-inch wheels, and available 18-inch wheels. The Wilderness model offers a more rugged design with a unique front and rear bumper, a matte black finish, exterior body cladding, and rear differential skid plates, off-road wheels, Yokohama Geolandar tires, and a full-size spare tire. It also has a reinforced roof rack to hold 800 pounds, including maybe a pop-up tent. Now, Andrew, people are probably thinking, that CX-50 has kind of got a little bit of a wagon vibe to it.
Yeah.
Why aren't you comparing it with the Subaru Outback? Oh, we've done that already.
We did it.
So we'll leave the card here and you can click on that at any time. We thought we would visit Forester this time around.
Well, I think these two are cross-shopped. I hear from followers all the time and they're interested in both. So I think this is just another great comparison to have on the channel.
It's a really good comparison.
Yeah. So you know what? The Meridian trim of the CX-50 is not any more capable than the other CX-50 models. But of course, the Forester Wilderness is a little bit more capable. I don't know. I prefer the look of the CX-50 Meridian trim over the Forester Wilderness. I mean, that cladding, you got to be the kind of person who likes that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it really is a different vibe. As I mentioned, the CX-50 has a little bit of maybe a European wagon kind of look, which I really like. So quickly, I know we're talking about design, but I just want to touch on the two different all-terrain tires. So the Wilderness version gets the Yokohama Geolandar tires, which we found were excellent and quiet. Now, the tires that they've chosen, I can't remember the brand off the top of my head for the CX-50, we noticed they were a little bit louder. Just something to consider.
So we're reviewing the Forester, of course, but we did take the Outback off-road and we just couldn't believe how it ate up those potholes and it kept the cabin really quiet while doing it. The CX-50 interior is exactly what you would expect from Mazda, a sophisticated and elegant design. In Canada, the base trim comes with plenty of standard features with a 10.25-inch display with Mazda Connect, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, leatherette trimmed upholstery, heated front seats, a 10-way power driver seat, heated steering wheel, a panoramic sunroof, and a power liftgate. The GT trim adds the Bose sound system, a wireless charger, a power passenger seat, leather upholstery, ventilated front seats, heated rear seats, navigation, and a 360 monitor. The Meridian trim only comes with one interior color option, and that's terracotta. In the US, there are a lot of different trims to choose from for different budgets. The base trim has an 8.8-inch display, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and cloth upholstery. Moving one up from the base model adds that larger 10.25-inch display and leatherette trimmed upholstery. The preferred model has the power liftgate, a power driver's seat, and heated front seats. Features available on the higher trims include the heated steering wheel, panoramic sunroof, ventilated front seats, a power passenger seat, heated rear seats, a wireless charger, navigation, and a 360 camera.
Now, one of the hallmarks of the Forester is that the cabin is very open and spacious with large windows giving you a great greenhouse effect. The large doors and windows make it easy and convenient to get things like kids, car seats, dogs, anything in and out of this vehicle. The Forester comes standard with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You get just a 6.5-inch touchscreen and a 4.2-inch driver display, heated manual front seats, and cloth upholstery. If you go up one from the base, that's when you get the larger 8-inch screen, a 6-speaker audio system, a power driver seat, premium cloth upholstery, a heated steering wheel, plus a sunroof and a power liftgate. When you move up to the higher trims, that's where you add the driver's seat memory, a power passenger seat, leather interior, heated rear seats, and the 9-speaker Harman Kardon sound system. The Forester is missing a few features compared to the CX-50, including wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, ventilated front seats, and an available 360-degree camera. In the United States, there are a few differences. The heated front seats are standard if you go one up from the base model. The power liftgate is an option, also one up from the base model. The Sport model has an optional 8-inch touchscreen, which is standard on the Wilderness trim. The heated steering wheel is an option on the Limited trim, and the Harman Kardon sound system is an option if you start on the Sport trim and above.
So these interiors are quite different. I would say that the CX-50 is quite elegant looking. I do like the Forester and the openness of the cabin. The visibility is so good. And the seats are more comfortable
Yeah.
in the Forester for sure.
I think the Forester is the winner when it comes to the seat comfort and also the materials used. So you just look at the seats and you can just see how nicely bolstered they are. They look comfortable on the video. They're comfortable in real life.
They are.
And then you get into things like the touch points on the side of the transmission tunnel. They put soft materials there. There's more padding and things than you get in the CX-50. The CX-50 does have a few tricks of its own, like the baseball stitching on the dash pad and the seats.
Technology-wise, well, you do get a touchscreen in the Forester, which I know a lot of people like. In the CX-50, it's a display screen, and when you use wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto at lower speeds, it becomes a touchscreen. Now, the Forester only comes with wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and there are no ventilated front seats in that model either. So I do find that the technology in both isn't super quick. The Forester can be a little laggy with the touchscreen. And one thing about wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in the CX-50 is that every time that the vehicle shuts off, you have to reconnect. Now, it doesn't take long to connect, but it would be nice if you just got in the vehicle and it was connected.
There is a camp, Andrea, that probably likes the plug-in version of Apple and Android because two things. Your phone is charging, that's nice, and you don't have these connectivity issues.
Yeah.
Once you're plugged in, you're good to go. You don't have to worry, is it going to connect and is the wheel spinning and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of more camp plug-in. It's only annoying when you're jumping in and out of the car quickly.
True. The CX-50 is 3.7 inches longer than the Forester, but the Subaru wins in front row legroom with an extra 1.7 inches of space. They both have about the same second row legroom. Overall cargo capacity goes to the Forester with 69.1 cubic feet of space compared to the CX-50 at 56.3 cubic feet. You'll find more space behind the second row in the CX-50 at 31.4 cubic feet. The Forester comes in at 26.9 cubic feet.
All right, let's get into the pricing for the CX-50. We'll do the US in just a second, Canada first. The base model starts at just over $38,000, and the top Meridian trim is just over $48,000. In the United States, the base model starts at $27,500, and the most expensive Turbo Premium Plus model is just over $40,000. Here's the fuel economy for the base 2.5-liter non-turbo 4-cylinder, 9.7 liters per 100 kilometers city, 7.9 on the highway. That's 24 miles per gallon city, 30 miles per gallon highway. When you go up to the turbo, it uses a lot more fuel, 10.4 liters per 100 kilometers city, 8.1 on the highway. That's 23 miles per gallon city, 29 miles per gallon highway. The turbo can tow 3,500 pounds, the non-turbo 2,000 pounds. Here's the warranty. In Canada, you get 3 years with unlimited kilometers. In the United States, it's 3 years with 36,000 miles.
Here's the pricing for the Subaru Forester. The base trim in Canada starts at just under $31,000, and the top Premier trim is just over $41,500. In the US, the base trim starts at just over $26,000, and the top Touring model is just under $36,500. Here's the fuel economy. The Forester gets 9 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7.2 on the highway. That's 26 miles per gallon city, 33 miles per gallon highway. The Forester can tow 1,500 pounds and the Wilderness model 3,000 pounds. Subaru offers a warranty of 3 years, 60,000 kilometers, or 36,000 miles.
So I think there's a couple of things here. One I would suggest is a stage of life choice. So I really do believe that the Forester, if you've got little kids with car seats and strollers, is going to be the better choice. And then when you have little kids, you're broke, right? And the Forester is a lot cheaper. So you get a very, very functional car that kids can pile in and out of. You can throw strollers and dogs and things in it. I think that for that stage of life would be my choice.
It's just practical and easy, and it's great in the snow as well. We had some snow in Vancouver when we reviewed the Forester, and I just loved driving it. Price-wise, there's just more trims available, especially in Canada with the Forester. So if you're on a tighter budget, you've got a family that's growing, you might find the Forester to be a better option. I think that the fully loaded GT model, non-turbo of the CX-50 comes really well equipped, and you get some extra features that that the Forester doesn't have, but it's still expensive, isn't it?
Well, they have, you got to remember, over at Mazda, they have the CX-5, right?
Yeah.
Which is a different product altogether, which offers less expensive options. So this is a kind of a niche vehicle for them with the CX-50. I really like it.
Me too.
But I just think it depends on your stage of life. I think if we were going to choose one now, or our kids are, teenagers, we'd probably get the CX-50.
I think so. I mean, I like the look more of the CX-50 in my opinion, but I like the comfort level of the Forester. So what would you pick? Forester, CX-50, what's your choice? We'd love to hear from you.
I know a lot of them are going to come down to one thing, Andrea, and that is the good old CVT.
Yeah.
There's just a whole bunch of people out there just don't like CVTs. I'm here to tell you there's a couple of companies that do a good one. Subaru is right at the top of the list. They don't use a shared CVT. It's an in-house baked unit.
Yeah.
Also, Honda does a good CVT, and then you've got the 6-speed automatic with the CX-50, and for some people, that'll be the whole selling feature.
Well, a lot of people I've heard, they complain about the fact that Mazda is still offering a 6-speed automatic transmission, but it shifts smoothly and it's quick. I really like it.
Okay, so back to the point Andrea's making. Click below, tell us what you would pick and why. And we always love hearing your feedback. And what else can they do?
We'd love you to subscribe. We put out a lot of unique content each week. And it'd be great if you followed along as well. Follow along on Instagram at Motormouth_Andrea. I put a sneak peek of what's coming out on the channel and when all of our reviews drop. And it's good information to have.
All right, before we go, one last thing. Don't forget, the card is up there. You can click it at any time. You can watch the Forester with the Outback if that's your thing.